I've been doing ghost hunting for a long time, and so has the folks I've been with. As you know, Kansas Paranormal Research or Paranormal Task Force. I want to introduce you now to a brand new group of ghost hunters. They're young, they're eager, and they're a lot of fun.
All right, welcome to Beyond the Shadows, and we are here in the basement of the Mineral Springs Hotel and Spa. This place is nuts, crazy haunted with this little girl named Cassandra. Cassandra, you with us? All right, thanks, sweetheart. Good to see you. This is going to happen a lot through this whole interview. We're here with Cassandra, and we are here with Brandon Klein with Gateway Paranormal?
Gateway Paranormal Team.
Gateway Paranormal Team. It's one of the newest, youngest ghost hunting groups in Missouri, especially on the east side. And I wanted to talk to a young, new ghost hunter. He's still excited about this, like I am. Brandon, how you doing?
I'm doing awesome, man. This is our home base right here at the Mineral Springs, and what better place to do this interview than in this pool and with Cassandra right here.
Cassandra, yeah. I got to tell you, we came down here and he just started talking to her. K2 meter lit up immediately. And that's exactly what happened when I was here 4 or 5 years ago, whenever it was. And I was talking to Cassandra, and K2 was doing this very same thing. Cassandra, you don't remember that, do you? Oh, you do? Okay, well, thanks. All right, tell me about your ghost hunting.
Well, we are a non-profit organization to the base level with a passion to find the answers to the paranormal. Now, all through, we are a very diverse group. Mm-hmm. We've had investigators anywhere from 18 years old to 55 who come from many different social backgrounds, religious beliefs, and we all come together to find the deeper meanings of the paranormal or spirits.
So you're not here to get your own television show, you're not here to get your own tour group going.
No, I mean, of course, that would always be fine and dandy, of course, but, you know, at the end of the day, it's a passion thing. It's something that, you know, I hate to say it, but it's almost a calling for me, you know,
okay.
at least some of the experiences I had. I'm the type of person who, if I have questions, I want them answered, and I'll do anything in my power to get those answers.
So what have you had answered so far?
Oh, well, first off, there's a difference at the base level. There's a difference between believing and knowing. And through the years, I now know that ghosts exist. So we're past the point of, you know, especially at a location like this that we investigate so much. Oh, is there a ghost here? No, we stay away from those generic questions. We want to understand, okay, you're here, but why? What can we do to explain you? Why are you here scientifically? Why are you here emotionally? And why are you here spiritually?
Oh, okay.
So,
and have you got any answers from this spot?
From this, well, down here with Cassandra, through the years, our very first investigation here was January 21st, 2012. Now, that's a day, that is the defining moment for our group. Like that set a baseline for, you know, the future and beyond.
What do you mean by that?
As in, I guess what happened that night was so personal for all of us, and we pushed things to the absolute extreme of science and spirituality and what we could do. You know, we were young, 17 years old in high school, and we pushed things to the limits of creativity in terms of the investigation.
Give me a description. Give me an example.
For instance, say it can be something from as goofy as the last time we were here, we took off our shirts and we pretended we were swimming in the pool, see if we can get some residual activity from that, or see if that opened to something. Or we did something more complex like the Lemp Mansion. We investigated, you know, that building about a month ago, and we came up, we were planning on wearing suits and ties. That didn't end up happening, but at the beginning of the investigation, we called all the spirits in the building. We're like, listen, you guys were once a very prominent family. We are here to help you. We want you we're going to help you get back to that prominent status. We're going to talk about your financial strategies. You speak through us and we'll get your empire back, whatever. So we had a business meeting. We attempted to have a business meeting with them.
Okay.
So like all these just weird, insane, fun experiments we do just to evoke some type of reaction, you know. And that's what we strive for every investigation. And it started with the first investigation here. So.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, I love it.
Have you done places besides Berlin and?
Yeah, well, we've done, this year alone, we've done the Cheney Mansion in Jerseyville. We've done, we did a private business up off Manchester, in St. Louis County. We did this place, Let Mansion, whatever. But we also have done Enoch's Knot Bridge. We've done the Demonal Mansion. My brain's kind of going out of whack right now, so that's all I can name off the bat. You know,
Let's talk about Enoch's Knot, because that's my home, basically. You got to talk to my friend Patrick Kinnison. Tell me the story, or tell these folks a story on the cigarette.
Well, we were there. We have a documentary out from it on YouTube. If you type in GPT Paranormal at YouTube, it's a simple documentary for that one. It just, I think Enoch's Knot Bridge documentary, whatever. I just took a group of friends to this bridge, who I call paranormal civilians. You know, they're not in the field, nor do they know if they believe or not. And I just wanted to show them, you know, if ghosts, show them, you know, what I do, a little bit more detail. And they went up there, and right off the bat, Patrick's talking to us on this bridge through the K2 meter, and he was responding, you know, perfectly. You know, yes, no, like I say, was doing with.
And as we start talking about Patrick, Cassandra stops setting it off.
Sorry, Cassandra. I'll talk about you in a little bit, but you know, we were talking with Patrick and had a good old time, and we're all smokers, and we wanted cigarettes. So at that point, I'm like, all right, you get a cigarette out, and of course the video evidence is off at that point. And I was like, Patrick, would you like to smoke? I've done this before with another spirit. And he's like, yeah. And we had this debate with him of what type of cigarette to smoke. And we went through, you know, Marlboro NXT, we went to Camel, we went to American Spirit, and he ended up wanting a Marlboro Red. So we light the cigarette up, put the K2 meter by the cigarette, and of course the K2 meter was going off. And it's on video, but you really can't notice it, but it's something that we will never forget. And the cigarette was being smoked. You could see the cigarette actually going down as if he was puffing at it. So that was for an outdoor location, that was one of the most amazing things I've ever experienced.
Well, I've been out there with two classmates of his, very close friends.
Really?
And I will ask them what cigarette he smoked, and we'll see what they've got to say. Just out of curiosity.
Just out of curiosity.
I'll tell you what, one is Stephen LeChance, went to school with him.
Really?
And another one is a guy with MS3, which I believe is Missouri Spirit Seeker Society. His name is John Perkins, and he had a lengthy conversation with him out there with the rods.
Oh my goodness, that is crazy. Especially the fact that you get to talk to someone that you once knew, whether you were friends with them or not. I've only had the honor of doing that one time. It wasn't a crazy thing, but it was life-changing for, I guess, the person I was with. He was just, we were at the cemetery, and by our house, I live in the St. Charles County area.
Okay.
And his great-great-grandmother or whatever was buried in this cemetery. We had this new, I guess, prototype out, the PX device, which is like an obelisk. So, you know, you can only use it as a reference. You can't use it as complete evidence. It can't be proven. But we're walking around with this, and it goes, in the cemetery, and it goes squirrel. And I'm like, okay, so this thing is just blurting out random words.
Right.
And about 30 seconds later, we see this gravestone that had squirrels both engraved into the tomb and then statues of them. And I'm like,
okay, so here we are in the Mineral Springs Hotel and Spa in the pool area, and this is your baby right here. And I don't mean that with Cassandra. Now, tell me what goes on here.
well, Cassandra is the most infamous spirit on this location. She arrived here in the 1920s.
Okay.
When this was probably in its prime. Now, she was here on her birthday party, and the story goes that she was, you know, the whole thing, don't run around the pool, you're going to trip and get hurt. Well, that's what happened to her. She was running around the pool, tripped, fell, actually right over there. She tripped, fell, and either hit her head or broke her neck, and she's supposedly, well, she is here. She's been here ever since. So.
Okay. And you communicate with her a lot.
Yeah. Let's see. Our very first investigation with GPT was January 21st, 2012, and that started it all. I think we were different compared to the many other groups who investigated this place because they, much older people. Here we were, young 17-year-old high school students.
And how old was she?
She was between 8 and 12.
So in the ballpark.
Yeah, she's young. So who's she going to connect more? Is she going to connect more? At least our philosophy at the time was, is she going to connect more with the as we call it, the 40-year-old man who's one of the staff members here, or are they going to be someone who's full of life, youthful, teenagers, and I'll never forget it. And it was like 5 o'clock in the morning. We were standing right over there, and I asked the question, Cassandra, is this where you fell? Because I had no experience with her thus far in the evening, and with that, there were footsteps, and we believe there were loud footsteps, and this is all on YouTube, going down the pool. And within seconds, the K2 meter spiking, like I'm known to do here. And we had a 2-hour conversation with her down here. We did everything. We were playing marbles, we played games, she was giving me hugs, and it was just weird. This was the most activity we've ever gotten. Here we were just young kids.
Right.
And it got to a point, and I don't regret this, but this is where my connection with her kind of came. She at one point she was beginning to slow down, and kind of tire out. I noticed this, and I'm known to push limits, so I went up and I was like, all right, I'm gonna do an experiment here, just to see if it exists. And I don't know if it does. I was like, I'm gonna see if she actually can take my energy. See if that's actually so she can keep. Because we were in the moment. We wanted her to, communicate with us. So I was like, Cassandra, I'm giving you permission to take everything out of me, drain my energy. And with that, at first I didn't feel anything, but we kept going and going, and it culminated towards the end of the 2 hours. I asked her, I was like, Cassandra, I want you to grab your favorite yellow marble, favorite yellow marble, and I want you to put, I told her to put it underneath the steps.
Okay.
Luckily, she did it, because I don't think that would work. But I was like, I want you to put your favorite yellow marble underneath the steps, and then come back to us when you did it. And
that was the lighting on, so you could actually see.
This basement was pitch black. I was sitting there I was sitting on the couch up there, and everybody else was kind of right there filming in there. So everyone was present and there. And one of the other investigators decided to walk up, and he was sitting there. And we actually got off the topic because she stopped responding.
Okay.
And he got up. His name was Sam. He got up and started walking, and he stepped on the marble on the 3rd step. And he flipped out. And we all ran over there, and there was the yellow marble sitting on the step. And it was a very emotional moment for the whole group. We were all in tears. It was like, this is amazing. That was probably the most intense thing we've captured. And it was life-changing, especially for me. And Steve, who's the Mineral Springs, one of the tour guides, and he does the overnights here for public guests, he was telling me, like, from the start, it's like, buddy, you got a problem. Like, I've never seen her interact with someone on such a level. And I wasn't thinking much of it. I couldn't figure it out. Give you a birthday cake. Make it go to red. There you go.
All right.
Close enough.
Outstanding.
All right, so those spirits that I know in this building would include, let me put the K2 meter down for a second, Cassandra, William, Clarence, the little boy down here, don't know his name, the lady who collects the green lights up in one of the rooms up there, Maria, Oscar, Pearl, John Hale, Mary Jane, what's his name, JT, I can go on and on. I know there's a few other ones. Sorry, I'm not naming you.
Which one? Pick one.
Probably JT, who was he owned a tobacco company. He did Horseshoe Tobacco, which is similar to Dip, I guess.
Okay.
He owned this, JT, Drummond Tobacco, and the drying facility is actually in this building. Deep, deep underground, you can't access it anymore. And the down there is amazing because there's no moisture down there. And they still have the original drying rods we used to dry the tobacco. And they look almost brand new just because there's nothing deteriorating them. And JT was the very first spirit I'd ever seen. I've only seen two entities in my life, and I saw him twice. The first time was on that January 21st, the very first investigation here.
Okay.
Saw him through. I was doing my thing, someone was filming me, and he was standing, his face was looking through the LCD screen. And I didn't think much of it at the time. Well, you don't have to watch the video, but I thought it was someone else. But then Spencer, the guy who was holding the camera, was like, I feel like there's someone next to me right now. And at that point, I was like, dude, you know.
Yeah.
And, but
What did he look like?
I can't remember the feature. I just remember seeing that face. But I can't remember the features. His face was white with, but his actual features, like his nose, whatever, from what I remember was like, sounds weird, but like pencil marks. Like, they kind of like pencil marks face. But like, again, like I don't have a very strong memory of it. I just remember it happening. It's on our first documentary. But the second time I saw him, this was crazy. It was a shadow person.
Okay.
But down there, it's so pitch black. There's no light sources. So it was weird that we all saw him at the same time because he charged one of our investigators. It was like black on black, which is weird. So that shows you that there's darker black than black.
We've seen
its color. So
we've all seen it.
That was the only other time I've ever seen an entity. So
you got JT. What about one of the women here?
Well, Maria up on the second floor. Now, Maria, she was a rich lady from St. Louis who had a secret rendezvous point here in the Mineral Springs. This was the perfect place to, I guess, commit adultery because it wasn't too far from the city. You know, it was, I guess, perfect for that type of thing. And she was with a guy named Johnny. I guess he was the gardener of her place. And her husband followed her one of the times, broke down her door, chased her out of the room.
Is this one they call the Jasmine Lady?
The Jasmine Lady.
Okay, go on.
And her thing is she was either pushed or she fell down the main staircase of this building. Most people assume that she was pushed because her husband also committed suicide right after that. But there's a game changer coming up in a second. We, through the years, Maria does not like me too much because I always flipped it. Because everyone, I guess because she's female, I don't know, always give her sympathy.
Okay.
I flipped it around originally and was like, well, you committed adultery, and she hated me. She was like, leave me alone, get out of here. And throughout the years, I've been able to apologize to her and whatever. Last March, we were here, and this documentary is coming out very shortly. It's going to be called The Game Changer. Because no group has been able, at least publicly, have been able to prove that she either fell or she was tripped. She told us that she fell. And that was...
Via K2s?
Via the spirit box.
Spirit box?
We got her voice and she said fall.
Now is this a Frank's box style or is
this is an SB7, Spirit Box 7.
Okay.
So ITC Research comes out with it. It's probably one of the more famous ones I guess you'll see on TV, but yeah, she said fell. And it came out of nowhere too, because whenever we come here, that's the first question we ask, did you fall?
Yeah.
And we never get anything, and this time we weren't doing anything special, we were just, this basic question, did you trip or did you fall? Did you fall? Okay, now, and that's humbling for me, because, that is probably one of our biggest pieces of evidence for this building on a historical level, because possibly that could change her history books.
Yes.
Possibly. I mean, our future investigations will prove that. And that was, and knowing my group, because when we started, I was like a freshman in high school, 14, 15. No one wanted anything to do with us. And for good reasons, who's going to trust a 14-year-old kid in their building or consider them logical beings in terms of this field. So, our entire history we've always had to work harder than most groups just to get a location to investigate. And that's the significance of this one. This was the first location they owned that allowed just us to investigate. The first investigation I was able to conduct as a lead investigator that turned out to be our defining night. So yeah, just getting that, I felt it hit me to my core, and like, this is what we've worked for, you know. Now we have a little bit of credibility. Not saying that our other stuff was incredible, but this was a big one for me.
So you would recommend this place for ghost hunting groups, for?
It is the most, I've been to many locations. I didn't name many. I didn't name many, but this is the most active building I've ever been in. I think we've done eight investigations here.
Okay.
Our 9th one's coming up in about a week. 5 out of the 8 have been life-changing for at least an investigator in the group or guests we've had. The other 3 were completely dead. So it is hit or miss, but when it hits,
there is something special going on here, isn't there?
Our 9th investigation here.
And the young lady's birthday?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I went down here. I randomly showed up here to Mineral Springs. I come here about once a month or whatever. Wasn't planning to meet you folks, but I was coming here originally. My aunt's coming on that investigation. She doesn't leave.
Okay.
So I originally came down here and talked to Cassandra, because usually she'll come out right away from here.
Which earlier she got
Earlier she was talking to us, and I came down here and I asked her, how you doing, yada yada. And I was like, your birthday, or my aunt's coming. I was like, can you do something really spectacular for her? She doesn't believe, and she's like, yeah. And I don't know how I got into the conversation, or how I started it, but I was like, I think it was because my birthday's coming up, and I was like, when's your birthday? Yada yada yada. And I was like, do you want a birthday party? She wanted us to throw you a birthday party, and she's like, yeah. And she's saying it through the K2 meter. And I was like, okay, cool. You want a birthday cake? You want a present? She's like, yeah. And I'm like, awesome, all right. But the only way we're going to do this is if you tell me your birthday. And I went through the months. I did this twice to verify it. She said February 2nd is her birthday. Okay. So on the cake we put February 2nd. So Cassandra, if you're still down here, next week, got that big birthday party coming up. You make it go up again? Don't be intimidated by Dan over here. He's cool. Trust me, he's just as friendly. I will never bring anyone down here who's not friendly. So.
Thank you, Cassandra.
Awesome. Can you make it go back to 1? I'm going to ask you one question here. Make it go to 1. You ready for your birthday party next week? Make a spike if you're ready for it. Oh, you can do better than that. I'm getting you a birthday cake. Make it go to red. There you go.
Close. Give me this. How can people look at your videos that you keep talking about?
Yeah, we have, we're all over the place in terms of social media. You can find us, our main website is www.gatewayparanormalteam.com. Or you can find us on Facebook. We have a Facebook link, Gateway Paranormal Team, and a YouTube page, GPT Paranormal, so at YouTube. And on our YouTube page, you'll see we have videos, we have evidence videos, we have 9 documentaries. Most of them are professional look, and our first 2 weren't as professional, we were young. But the first documentary we ever had, the January 21st, is probably the most significant. It's like 2 hours and 30 minutes, so it's long and boring, but that has the most significance to it.
Okay.
And then everything past 2013 have been awesome, professional, entertaining documentaries. So.
All right, so get on to YouTube, subscribe to, it was GPT Paranormal.
GPT Paranormal.
On YouTube. And subscribe and look at the videos, see this place, see this team, see how things operate.
Yeah, and if you ever need to contact me, my number for paranormal is 314-413-9280, or you can email me at gptparanormal@gmail.com.
Yeah, I'll probably throw it up on the screen. Would you repeat that one more time, the number?
My number is 314-413-9280.
So look for GPT on YouTube, and for ghosts, look beyond the shadows.